back to my channel. Okay, you're in for a treat. I have with me one of the top facialists, estheticians, depending on where you live, in the world. I am like a lucky girl because I get to count all of these amazing women and boys, the odd boy, as friends. This is Joanna Vargas.
Hi everybody.
Now I did say on Instagram, which was a mistake, I did say on Instagram yesterday that I was going to be interviewing one of the top facialists in the world. And did anyone have any questions? They had questions.
I'm ready for it.
There was like 62,000 options to type, and I just sort of, what's good about when you do questions on Instagram is that it gives you the people who follow and you follow first, so you can see people who are in the industry, all that sort of fun stuff. So we'll come to those in a minute.
Okay.
But for the people who aren't a skin freak, of which most of my lot are, tell us about you and where you're based and how you got started, and basically this is your life. Go. Welcome to London.
Hi London.
Why are you here?
Well, because I love you, and
I'd like to think she flew here just for me. That's not the truth, but we can pretend.
I came to London because I had some clients to see, and I'm doing some stuff for Net-a-Porter and for Cult Beauty, and I thought I'd try to lump in a lot of different things all at once. I only come to London a few times a year, so it's always a big treat.
And she made the mistake of telling me she was coming. I was like, yeah, you are. Get to my office.
Well, we had to catch up.
We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I've been here for like 3 hours already.
And we haven't even had any caffeine. We've been very good.
I mean, yes, we're very civilized today.
Anyone would think we were like trying to be professional.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so you are based in New York.
I'm based in New York. After I graduated from university, I moved to New York with the idea of being a fashion photographer. I realized right away that my chemical makeup was not suited for that industry. I was very shy back then. I'm still actually pretty shy, but I just didn't think I'd survive it without getting like ulcers and stuff. It's just a rough industry, and if you're not tough, it's just not good for you. So I went to beauty school because I liked product, I loved makeup and everything, and I thought maybe I'd be a makeup artist. And once I was in school, I realized I kind of loved the idea of taking care of people. So I gave myself a year after I graduated, and that was 20 years ago. I never looked back.
Did you know from the beginning, did you know that you kind of thought, I love this, or I'm good at this, or this is my passion, or this is what I was meant to do? Or did you fall into it and then think that?
Beauty school was like a stroke of luck, I think. When I was in my 20s, I felt lost, you know? And then once I started school, I realized that this was what I was meant to do. And everything about this career has been what I was meant to do. I love taking care of people. I love building a one-on-one relationship. I love earning the trust of a client, and helping somebody who genuinely needs help, like figuring out her skin, figuring out what's good for her, figuring out that puzzle, you know, putting all the pieces together for somebody. It's something, I mean, it's why I still do facials. I'm obsessed with it. I love it, and I can't imagine ever giving that part of the business or the industry up anytime soon. So.
And you also have an outlet in LA.
I have a salon in LA. I opened a couple of years ago there, and then last year we did a grand reopening at the Sunset Tower Hotel. So I'm
coming next time I'm in town, by the way.
I hope so. That would be really fun. And my salon in New York City, we started that 13 years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And let's just get this bit out of the way because it's the first thing people always ask about celeb people. Now I know well, here's the thing. We all talk as industry people, and we all have our very tight-knit, we know who's with who, and actually a lot of the time we pass people to other people, either we can't do them, or
totally,
you know, like so-and-so's coming to New York, Joanna, can you fit her in, or
totally,
all that kind of thing.
Totally.
And we would never say who we see, but you can talk about people who talk about going to you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Instagram is that everybody needs content, so sometimes people post during a facial or whatever. So Mindy Kaling, Julianne Moore, Elizabeth Moss, Constance Wu, Rachel Brosnahan.
It's a tough job. Someone's got to hold those lovely faces.
I mean, you know, it's not something that I don't think you could drive yourself to that, but no. I happened to get actresses early on, and you know, it kind of build it.
And they talk in the way that we do.
Everybody passes all the knowledge around,
they all
and
talk.
Hair and makeup people talk a lot, and I have a lot of friends in the industry. You know, we all try to take care of our actresses all from different angles. You know, me and makeup people will talk about somebody's skin. Someone will DM me and be like, hey,
I get that a lot.
I need you to exfoliate her. Emmy's somebody got a spray tan for a movie, and her makeup artist texted me like,
how do I get this off?
Can you please, I'm sending her into you, please scrape that shit off of her body. Who the fuck did it to her face? And it was very stressful because you're not supposed to, as you can imagine, exfoliate the shit out of anybody before a red carpet, because that could go wrong.
Just get a little bit red, a little bit irritated.
Yeah, and you can't hide irritation. If you really screw it up, you can't hide that. So, like, we were all kind of like, okay, like trying to, we were doing microderm on the body to get it off, and we made it enough so that it
They
didn't
just looked like they had a good flush of colour.
Yeah, the spray tan. I mean, people love it. Anyways, it's sort of like for estheticians, it sits in every pore sometimes.
And a lot of time, people who do a lot of spray tan think they have a lot of blackheads. That's one of the biggest. That's also probably the number one. There's two questions that are overriding. Interestingly enough, not from people in the industry or people who work in beauty or who know beauty or know skin, but from people who are outside of the industry and are just basically people desperate for help, but they're all obsessed with pores and blackheads.
I get asked a lot how to change the pore size, and I'm here to tell you that's impossible. There are things that improve it.
Yeah.
Keeping your skin clean and exfoliated is something that will improve the way your pores look to yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror. And then LED light therapy definitely improves, again, the amount of collagen and elastin in your skin, because it stimulates that. It'll make it seem like the pores are smaller, which is a really nice look.
Yeah.
But it's because it builds collagen.
The appearance of.
Well, yeah, because that no magic wand, can't do it,
But pores you can't change. I mean, you can make them feel and look a bit better, but also, don't you think that the industry has done women, and men obviously, but I generally talk mostly to the girls, but the disservice of thinking that pore size is something that should be fixed or is bad or can't be hidden with a bit of silicone primer anyway?
The silicone primer thing is a real problem. I think people trying to look insta perfect and, feeling the pressure of that all the time, I think is a real topic that we discuss privately with clients all the time. Like, how to look perfect. How can I look perfect like so-and-so?
Yeah. They don't look like that dude.
No, even actresses will come to me and be like, oh, if I could only look like so-and-so. And you just think like,
everybody wants to look like you, we're screwed.
Exactly. What is a regular girl supposed to do, or what's my daughter gonna think when she gets older? It's a lot, and it worries me a lot because I see the insecurity of people privately, and it disturbs me a lot.
Strange question, but are the needs and desires of the people you see whose faces are their job, so an actress, I know that's not her job, but this is what she has to work with, are they different from the normal, I don't mean average, don't jump down my neck, I mean the normal lady who does not work in the show business? Do they have different concerns? Are they much more concerned about tone or texture, or is it pretty much the same thing? They just want healthy skin, or?
It's all the same. Everybody at the end of the day we're all women, all the women have the same concerns, the same insecurities, the same things that you focus in on. I think when you're an actor and you're on camera and you're watching yourself play something back, let's say a scene or whatever, you focus a lot on not on your acting, but on how fat your arms are, or like the jiggly bits, or like
bingo wings.
Yeah, bingo wings.
Bingo.
We call them bat wings.
Bingo, because you go bingo and it wobbles.
I just learned that the other day. But anyway, so you focus on the wrong stuff. So it is, I think, a problem, and I think also actresses compare themselves to other actresses in terms of body and also the public are, you get criticized for everything.
I would hate it.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to stand it for one day. I'm not strong enough for that. I'm really not. And it's hard enough I think in the beauty industry, we were discussing off camera, I'm almost 49 years old. Like there is a definite feeling like
younger is better.
Yeah, that this is for the young, and you have to fight against that. I don't have a problem with my age. I'm so happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think my 40s
I'm
have been...
49.
You are. Don't you think it's so awesome?
The best.
I've never
the only
been
thing that's not the
happier.
best is my bladder control, but that was my fault for having 4 10-pound kids.
I only have 2 kids, and
like
Kim's laughing because whenever she makes me laugh, I'm like, I've got 2 children.
Yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Imagine when you had 4. And one of them came out through the sunroof. It doesn't make any difference. His head is still pounding your bladder for 9 months. Like, no. But when people are like, do you wee when you run? I'm like, well, when I run, I'll let you know, because that doesn't happen very often. Do I look like I run? But yeah, no, I'm not. Everything except the way your body doesn't respond the way it used to. And I find there's a comedian here, Billy Connolly.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. But he did this sketch years ago where he said, you're getting older when you make noises when you're unplugging something. So you go like, and I do that all the time, but it means when I'm getting out of a black cab. So if I'm getting a black cab and I've got masses of bags, because you can stand up in a black cab to open the door to get out.
Yeah.
And I stand up, and when I open the door, when I make the noise to get out of the cab, I find myself going, oh!
I make a noise when I get up out of the chair
sometimes.
sometimes.
Or you think, I can squat down and pick that up, and you think, yeah, I can squat down, but I can't get back up again.
Fuck.
So besides my body letting me know that I am 49, the brain is having a ball.
Yeah, I'm happy the way I am.
Yeah.
And I'm satisfied with I'm healthier than I've ever been.
I'm healthier.
I feel like all of those are like healthy, good things, and that's what I focus on.
So we embrace 49. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it.
Well, and also, what's the choice? What choice do you have?
True.
Be 49 or not be here?
Yeah, exactly. Off with you.
Yeah.
Quit.
You're done, get out.
Yeah, exactly.
The industry does try and do that, but I do like that most of us are now very much like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. I've heard it over and over and over again, and it's funny because when I first started the salon, I was 35 years old-ish, and I was actually pulled from a big story from a magazine because the beauty director said I was too young to be in it.
And now
I have been told that magazines want to skew younger. If I'm not included, it's because they want a younger person. That's fine. Whatever. I'm just living my life over here.
Yeah, I'm just busy getting on. I'm just busy carrying on. So
yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Don't you find as well that with being older comes the clarity of I'm not looking at what you're doing over there because I'm too busy doing me. Like I have so much going on with me. It doesn't affect whatever you think about me is whatever you think. It's nothing to do with me. I'm over here working. I've got the kids. I've got the work.
Yeah.
You get clarity with sort of the age of.
Yeah.
You kind of get to the point where you're like, I don't care. Like I'm so solid in who I am as a person.
Pretty much. I don't look at other people's careers and think like, oh, if
I
only.
wish I had that.
Yeah, I admire a lot of people in this business, and I have a deeper understanding of how hard it is to achieve the things that other people have achieved because I've worked my whole life. But I don't look at other people and think like, if only I could have done that. I am very focused on what I'm doing and what I think my own personal mission or what my own goals are. For me, it's more important to teach younger women that, they don't have to be born perfect. It's okay, and that, skin.
And no one really is perfect.
No one's perfect, not even whatever celebrity you
I
idealize.
do remember years ago seeing Stella McCartney giving an interview, and it was around the time she was doing one of her shows, and she was on the news, and she said so perfectly, because obviously, Stella McCartney is Stella McCartney, but she was raised by Linda McCartney, who was totally down to earth.
Yeah.
The kids all went to state schools, which was unheard of for a celeb to send their kid to a state, especially a Beatle.
Yeah.
Their kids went to state schools. That's just not done. Your kid goes to private. So, and she's very down to earth. And they said, what do you think of all the models? And it was a conversation. I think it was a supermodel program, something like that. And she went, let's face it, they're all just lucky bitches with good genes. And I was like, thank you. Like if someone like Stella McCartney is saying that, because you work on faces all the time and you see so many people with amazing bone structure, and you
Yeah.
hold their face in your hand, and you're like, oh my god, this. I do it all the time. I find myself going, oh, it's not so good when you're on a train though. You're like, don't stop staring at that person. They're going to think you're a freak because you just want to go, oh.
Yeah.
But it's the sadness for me is when people can't see it themselves.
I mean, I remember there was a treatment that I started doing in my salon, radio frequency. When I first got the first machine, I treated all my original, I have like about 20 clients that I've known for 15 years. And I treated them all to a series because I didn't release it yet to the public. I wanted them to feel honored. It was a private thing. They're all older. And I remember one of them came back to me and she was like, Joanna, I don't feel invisible anymore. And it made me sad that she ever felt that way. And I understand what she meant. And it made me happy that I made her feel good
That's
about
the best
her.
part.
Yeah, that's what I do it for, you know?
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple of my quick cues, but then I'm going to take to Instagram. If I show you this again, watch. Look, it's just like we could look. I mean, we could be here for days. So I'm going to start at the top and then avoid anything we've already talked about. So, what is your favourite treatment to do? What is your favourite thing where you think, oh, I've got a day of this?
My favorite treatment to perform is probably radio frequency, just because I feel like it stimulates so much collagen production. It gives women a kick in their step. You could do it on any body part, but I feel like most of us complain about this right here.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. Neither do I. But I feel like for this part of the face, it's like the biggest difference non-invasively that you can handle almost anything with radio frequency. And I kind of love that you don't have to change the way you look. It makes you the best version of yourself.
And excluding your range, which we can touch on a bit, your favourite desert island product?
God.
You could have a couple. I mean, I couldn't pick one.
You know, I would have to say my two favorite lines beside my own are probably Jordan's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's gonna love you. He's sitting at home right now going, oh my god! Oh my god! I know him so well, that's exactly what he's doing. And now he's laughing at me going, oh my god, she does such a good impression of me. Oh my god. Jordan Samuel, by the way, who I will link to below.
Jordan Samuel, he's a really good friend of mine. We've known each other for quite some time.
Yeah, same.
I have enormous respect for him. And I just really love his formulas. They're a real pleasure to put on my face, and really not that many formulas. Once you start making stuff, you get really like kind of picky. And you want your skin to feel a certain way all the time. And you know, I just love like his cleansers, and it just feels like.
Have you used the sensitive one, the aftershave sensitive? I love that freaking cleanser.
I mean, it feels like love on your face.
He's now dying. You've killed him. He's now dying. It feels like love on your face.
If you guys knew him, you would know that there is a lot of love and care that goes into everything that he does. And even when he first started out as a facialist, that's when I first met him. He was very smart.
Yeah.
He was very curious. He was ready to learn.
Don't you think that is the key? Like even now, when I see things you do, or things that Renee does, or things that Jordan does, or things that Nerida does, I still want to learn. I still read things and I go, oh, I could try that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think the problem comes with people who are like, oh, I know it all. I know everything. You can't teach me anything.
It's a dangerous perspective to view life.
Life in general, not just work.
Yeah, like I tell my son is 13, and anybody who has a kid knows like it's a bit of a know-it-all stage, and I always tell him like, you know, I've never stopped learning. I have learned things in my 20 years as a facialist, but if I stopped learning one day, I mean, I might as well just give up and retire, because it's just not a good perspective.
Don't rest on your laurels. So Jordan and?
You know, I really love Renee's I don't have acne, but I love Renee's products and send people to her website regularly to buy products from her, because a formulator that I respect the hell out of, and
this is Renee Rudo, who I will definitely get a video with at some point.
Renee just knows her shit.
She knows her shit.
And again, like people in the industry who really have put in the time to really learn their craft, you respect a lot. I also love Alicia Yoon, who is the founder of Peach and Lily. She has a really great collection of products that she formulated herself, which I think are really excellent as well. So, you know, there's a few people in the industry
that you say similar to me, which is very other people who work on faces led.
Yeah.
I always say if you want to, you know, if you really want to take care of your skin, go to a brand who take care of faces for a living.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in any way saying that other brands don't work. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying if you're in doubt, in general, if the name on the box still owns the company, which is an important thing to say.
Yeah. Well, because you touch products all the time, and then you see someone's face and you're like, what? Your first question is, what products are you using? What's your routine? And so you kind of get a breakdown and you start to understand ingredients that way, because you kind of think like, what am I looking at here?
Yeah.
And you process it via learning about their routine and what they're putting on their skin regularly, and that's how you kind of get there as a facialist. You know, you're like, oh, you're not using this or you're using that.
And I think that's another thing about, I mean, obviously I'd worked in the industry with product, so I was aware of hundreds and hundreds of products. And then when I started working on faces, when you realise what something looks like on a face, I remember doing a facialist. I remember doing a facialist on a big beauty director in the UK years ago, and I said, "Why do you wear Estee Lauder Double Wear?" And she went, "What?" And I said, "Your skin's not that bad. It's really heavy. It's a great product, but you don't need it, and your skin's really bad. Why are you wearing it?" And she went, and she genuinely thought, I thought she was going to pass out. She was like, "Did you see my makeup bag?" I'm like, "No, this is Double Wear, yes." And she went, "Yes, I'll just lie down and do whatever you tell me to do." She couldn't believe that I could pick her what foundation she was wearing. It was just obvious, because you know Double Wear, it's very thick. It doesn't really move once it's on the skin. But it's that kind of knowledge that I think facialists, because there's always the argument, maybe more so in the US, but the facialist versus dermatologist thing, they do very different things. I don't know any dermatologist who knows as much about all the products that are available on the market as I do. But I'm not a doctor. I've never said I am. We do different things.
Right, and I think as I was coming up in the business, there was this facialist versus dermatologist attitude, and I mean, I've heard of dermatologists say to patients like, "Oh, you know, facialists, you should never go to them."
Yeah.
I've heard it all over the years.
Yeah.
The truth is now I think it's changed a lot. Dermatologists realize we're not going anywhere,
And we're not the enemy.
And that we have something of a different perspective. The dermatologist that I tend to recommend my clients to in New York, she respects me, and we work together.
I recommend people all the time to derms.
Because you need it. I mean, I've had in the past 2 years in a row, I have seen spots on people that have turned out to be skin cancer.
Oh, I've done that too. Yeah.
And you know, sometimes people need like to be told by a friend, like, "Hey, that needs to be looked at." And also, I think it's good to be checked. I think it's good to have a physician looking at your skin and all of that, and having that perspective. In the States, it's, you know, for laser and those kinds of things, and then
we can do laser here.
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, again, gray area, but we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, if you were ethical and you had licensing issues, you wouldn't go after it. But here you can do laser.
And there you can too, but you should be a certified medical esthetician. You should have a medical director on staff, which you and I talked about privately is really important. That medical director should be an actual doctor who has medical malpractice insurance. And again, it's just for the safety of the client.
Safety of the client. I mean, I would say when I have people here who need laser, I recommend Teresa Tami.
Yeah.
Because lasers came around way after I trained, because we're old. Obviously, remember, we're old. Remember? I was in the different part of the industry then, and I don't feel confident enough, and I don't have the time, because you know, to get really good at laser, you have to burn a few people, and I don't have the time or the profile to do that. Imagine if I was like, "Oh, I can laser that for you," and I'm burning someone. So that's not my area of expertise. So I can tell when something needs lasering, and I'll go, "Yeah, you need to phone her." You know, but it's not for me. I know my limits, but I also know what I can do. And I think when you have that confidence, which you obviously do as well, you can go, you need to go see so-and-so. But I did the same thing. A girl came to see me in a body shop event years ago with her mum. And her mum stood off to the side. And as she's talking to me, all I can focus on is this mother had this brown mole here. And I said, I'm really sorry, I can't focus. Can I just ask you how long that's been there? And the daughter went, I told you.
Oh, shit.
And the mother went, oh, do you think? And I said, I didn't, you can just tell. I mean, it's only happened to be about a handful, like 5 times. And I said, I'm not going to worry you, but you need to go to the doctor. And she went, okay. I went, no, I'm telling you to go to the doctor tomorrow. And then I was like, I don't want to worry you, but go tomorrow. And it was basal cell.
Shit.
So, and the daughter messaged me on Instagram. She was like, thank you so much. We said to her, we thought it had changed, but it took someone who was bossy. I was like, me? No. Go tomorrow. Go.
Yeah. I had that happen. I had a client, she is around 70 years old. And she just had this little red bump right here, and I kept on asking her about it, and she said her derm told her it was a pimple. And, you know,
Pimples tend to go away, dude.
Yeah, and I kept on every facial, every month. What is that? Why haven't you gotten it checked out? My derm said it was nothing, it's a pimple. And I was like, 70-year-olds don't get pimples that last for 2 years. You've got to go to another dermatologist. She went into mine, and she did a Mohs surgery right then and there. It was really bad.
Because if you see something, you know it. You just, when you look at something, you know, it's like looking at a painted wall and it's got a crack in it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a painter to see it, but you have to be a painter to know if it can be done or if it needs to be primed or if you can go over it again. It's just that knowledge. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to start with questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
They're all good, and some of them from people we know. So Jordan has obviously jumped in and said, I would like to know if both of you miss me.
Desperately.
Obviously we miss you, Jordan. We've already spoken about you. Get off my video, dude. Okay, Kirby Johnson. We know Kirby. Pop Sugar Kirby. Hey, Kirby. What's the top ingredient they recommend to their clients?
That's like kind of a hard question because I feel like there are just certain ingredients that I think are important.
Top 3.
God. Retinol.
Number 1.
Some kind of hyaluronic acid type serum. Vitamin C. Yeah. Those are my picks.
Does applying, Karma Carly, I love this question. Does applying product in an upward motion massage really help?
So, I get asked this a lot. You know, it's really good for like your lymphatic system and your circulation to massage your face. And, you know, your lymphatic system, like, you know, needs to deliver nutrients to the skin. So if you apply it upwardly, it's going to assist your lymphatic system. You know, it'll be invigorating. I think it's healthy for your skin. What do you think? What's your answer to that?
I was trying to think. I always go upwards until I get to here and then I come down for the lymph.
So it drains out
Yeah.
side of the neck and then it gets cleaned here, you guys. So
Which is why you see most facialists go up, and then kind of swoop.
it's good to, like, if you were really, what I tell people is, like, if you're breaking out a lot, then you want to go downward because your lymph is having trouble taking away waste, right? So first I would open it up and then, you know, gently bring it down without spreading bacteria, etc., and so on. If your skin is dry or sensitized, you want to open this up first, but then you want to go upward. So
that, I love that, by the way. That is such a facialist hand. Other people are like, you go up, but you're like I was sitting going, that is a facialist hand. I remember being in college and the teachers going, and effleurage, and everyone would just be going okay, Kirby again. Good questions, Miss Johnson. What's the worst skin trend they see on Instagram? I've got so many. Toothpaste.
is that a trend? Really?
Just like anything to help the pores is generally bad.
Pretty much. I mean,
glue on the nose to peel off.
Oh Christ. Yeah, save
But
us.
in general, the pipettes down the face instead of putting it in your frigging hand and massaging it, and then
just anything. For me, I find disturbing anything that the primary concern is that the picture look good.
Yeah, well, that's the best way of putting it, frankly. Yes.
Because there are certain devices and things that, you know, like the the LED masks, for example, makes a great picture, but you have to know if it's penetrating the skin, what's the saturation,
What have you got on underneath it?
Also, you know, there's just things that were made for Instagram, and I would stay away from anything like that.
Got it. Skin minimalist, to extract or not extract? Please say it with a Shakespeare's Hamlet tone. I hope I did you justice. To extract or not to extract?
I mean, I think extractions by a licensed esthetician are a good thing to have if your skin needs it. Do I think every skin needs it? No. I get extractions like once a year, and that's it. It just depends on the skin.
I love that, because I would have people who lie down on the bed and be disappointed if I said I'm not going to extract your face.
Oh, I have that all the time.
For either numerous reasons. Either it doesn't really need it, or I can tell that if I have to, I'm going to have to put too much effort into it, that I could leave you with some potential of scarring.
Thank you for saying that, because people need to understand too that an esthetician can look at somebody's skin and decide like, wow, your skin is too sensitized, it's in trouble, so let's get some nutrients, let's get some health, build up its strength, and then I will do extraction.
If you need it, because by then we might have got rid of it through building up the health anyway.
Totally.
There you go. Renee Rudo, speak of the devil.
Oh, Renee.
What have they found to be the most game-changing advancements in facials?
You know, for me, it was really LED light was a game changer.
I love LED light.
Mm-hmm.
Love LED light.
I have in New York an LED bed that I have the patent on because
I'm so coming to New York for a facial.
I have one in LA too, but you get in naked and you do your whole skin. When I first got LED light, it was face panels, and it was such a game changer for the way people looked. It handled acne, it got rid of scarring, and so women would ask for body parts while I was giving a facial. Can you do my breasts? Can you do my knees? Because it builds collagen in quantifiable percentages. So I Googled to see, like, can we get a bed of this in here? And there wasn't one, so I had one engineered.
Dude, you're a G.
I mean, you know, anything for the skin, anything that's going to show a difference. So that was my game changer for me personally.
Jen from the Skin Nerd, who is a brilliant facialist and has a big brand in Ireland. Where do they get their inspo? That's very Irish. Inspo. Where do you get your inspo?
You know, really from my clients. I find the work inspiring. I find the conversations that I have inspiring. So for me, it's something that a client will say to me that will trigger an idea, or set me on a path of research because I want to find out an answer to something. With LED, it was from clients saying, I wish you had a whole bed of this.
Yeah, and you're like, I can do that. It's a sun bed, but good.
Yeah.
What do you think of Dermaroller? But what I love is that everyone has such different views.
So I have had some facialists do it to me, just as some buddies who do it. Sometimes it's happened that I've gotten pigment. I have melasma.
Yeah, me
so
too.
Sometimes it's I've done it and it's been great and I look good and
Excuse me, bicycle. Sorry, we are still. If you're joining in, you haven't seen me before, but you're joining to watch Joanna. First of all, welcome. Good plans, Dan. But I film in central London, and it is what it is. Moving on.
I'm from New York. I didn't even hear it.
I'm so attuned to thinking that will pick up on the camera. That'll pick up on the camera.
Yeah. Anyways, I've had it done where it's given me melasma. I've had it done where I thought my face looked pretty good. So I've been studying microneedling now for a few months with a registered nurse because it's something that I'm going to add into my practice. Okay. And so I've learned a lot about it. If it's too superficial of collagen damage, it will create inflammation. Yeah. If your skin has that cell mutation in it for melasma and you've created only surface damage and you haven't gone deeper in, then you will get melasma.
They'll scatter to try and fix it and the pigment will be right there.
Right. So I am not a huge fan of people buying it, using it at home, and I'm not really a huge fan of people using that roller when they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Amen. Buying it on Amazon or eBay.
Anyway.
Yeah. What do they get tired of? Oh, this is Love Mascara. What do they get tired of hearing the most?
how to change my pore size.
And I would reiterate and say it's not that we get tired of it. It's more that we have. I think I can speak for you when I say it's more. It's really not that bad. You know, I hold people's faces when I'm doing PAs because a lot of the time it's younger.
Yeah.
It's always younger girls who go, look at my face, and their face is like 85% perfect.
Yeah.
With the odd hormonal zit that is healthy because your hormones are raging.
Yeah.
You know. And I hold their face and I'm like, this face is gorgeous. And sometimes they have their mums there and the mums are like, thank you, she thinks I'm biased. I'm like, well, you are biased. But that kind of, so it's not that we get tired of hearing it. I just wish that as an industry we, didn't, like I say, make people feel like they have to focus it on so much.
I think in general we tend to focus on our flaws more than our good points. And so one thing that I tell people to do is like really try to practice thinking one good thing about yourself, or just focus on that. Like it isn't that bad. Most of us don't have as bad of a problem as we think we do about kind of anything.
Yeah.
And if we could practice honoring ourselves, I would never say that about someone else, what I say about myself, know?
Never.
So if we kind of have that in our heads, we could try to change the way we think about ourselves.
There you go. Anti-aging Amber. Hi, Amber. Top tips for finding a good facialist.
Find somebody that you feel you can communicate with, somebody that obviously is licensed, somebody that that you can have respect for, like what she stands for, what her philosophy is.
I also think it's good if someone tells you no.
Yeah.
Someone says you don't need that.
Yeah.
Don't do it. You know, when people come to you say, I met so-and-so at a party and she said I could have this done here, and if you say, don't do that because you're in the middle of doing this and that's going to affect, A leads to B leads to M. And someone who's not afraid of, who doesn't want to be a people pleaser. I don't think a good facialist is a people pleaser.
Also not somebody who's overly bossy either, because I remember when I first became a facialist, I was working in this organic day spa, and it was in the era of the glycolic peel with every facial.
Oh.
Yeah, and so they did it on me, and the next day I got all of these cysts all over my face, and all of the older facialists were like, oh, darling, better in than out. It's all flushing out of your skin. And I thought like, oh, I was just out of school, so I didn't know. And so I did it again, and it happened again, and I realized, wait a second, I'm allergic to glycolic acid, which I am, but I was letting them tell me that my skin was bad and that it needed to come out. And so there is some give and take. I tell my clients, you know your skin 100%. The best, and if something feels wrong, you know it. You know it's wrong, and speak up. And
don't you find that a lot of people as well, when you're talking to a client, if you say to them, so talk to me about your skin, why is it like this? They know. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 they know. If I say, well, how's your sugar intake? And
totally.
They go, I'm like, I'm not here to embarrass you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I can fix something if I know that it could be dietary. Or, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but if I could burn one method of contraception, it would be the implant. The implant has caused so many problems and I had numerous girls.
Cystic acne.
Numerous girls at the Clarins events. For the last 2 weeks I've been doing events with Clarins, and numerous girls were coming up, and I'd say, and I feel bad saying it, but I say, what contraception are you on? And they say, oh, and they go like that, oh, I've got and I'm like, I can tell, you need to have it taken out.
Yeah. Do
it safely. I'm not telling you to get pregnant.
Yeah.
But that's what this is. And 9 times out of 10, and again, they go, oh my God, it came out when I never made the connection.
I've had that problem with some clients with IUDs also. Like, they get dislodged and they didn't know, and it starts to...
It shows. Your skin's always trying to tell you something.
I tell that to clients all the time, like, do you have a problem with digesting certain foods, or...
Does anything make you bloated?
Candida is another thing that will present in the face as well. So I have a nutritionist in New York and then one in California that I recommend clients to go to. I am not a nutritionist. I see things.
Yeah, when you can pinpoint.
Yeah. So.
Loads of milia questions. What causes milia and how to get rid of it, how to prevent or treat milia?
In a nutshell, a lot of times it's dehydration. There's something that you're doing that is causing severe dehydration in the skin that'll cause milia, especially around the eye area. you know, that they have to be removed and they're not going to come out on their own.
Yeah.
You've got to, I don't know, are you allowed to use a lancet?
Depends on the borough. So in the district it is, in the States. Over here, you can't pierce the skin. Well, it used to be. I must check actually, which is probably helpful for me because I'm insured for that. But there are certain boroughs, I think you used to not be able to pierce the skin in the city of Westminster, which is Soho, because of all the tattoo places that would pop up. And they were trying to protect people from certain areas of the body piercing.
Got it.
So I'm not too sure what it is at the moment, but certain boroughs you can and certain boroughs you can't.
So I'm licensed in both New York and California because those are where my 2 salons are. And in New York, an esthetician is allowed to use a lancet to pierce the skin, and so therefore we will remove milia for you. In the state of California, you are not allowed to use a lancet or break the skin's barrier at all.
Right.
So you have to go to a derm for that. So, you know,
Depends where you are. Fly to New York.
I just try to stay in my lane wherever I am.
Yeah. Don't offend anyone. Don't upset the authorities.
Well, you know, I think it's important to kind of be like, you know, respectful of everybody, you know, and just find the right people to work with and have the client be serviced thoroughly and safely by all of the right people at all times. That's all.
Amen. Okay, help with dark spots from cystic acne.
You know, that's a really
so probably post-inflammatory pig.
You know, it's tough because it depends on your skin. It depends on your hormone. It depends on what caused the cystic acne to begin with. Melasma is a very difficult, challenging issue. Laser is really good at helping it. It is not the magical solution, unfortunately, for it.
It's gonna come back as soon as you get hot.
Exactly, and that's what happens to me too, and I don't have cystic acne or anything. So if you're fine with getting laser, like let's say once or twice a year, then that's a solution. If not, kojic acid is a natural skin lightener. Retinols are very good, but you have to be a maniac about sun protection and hats and all the things.
And also, if you've had, because I had kids melasma, as I call it, which was like the typical water lily on the forehead, and then I have a patch here that's kind of still there, and an odd patch that comes up in the summer. And I say to everyone the same thing I do for me. I embrace it fading through the winter, and I welcome it in the summer because I know it's going to come back. And what's the point in making an enemy of it? It's going to come up because at some point of the year we will have a sunshine something, and if the sun's out, I will go out in the sun. I love the sun. I just try and treat it more respectfully now than I did when I was in my teenage years, and we would put Hawaiian Tropic number 2, which was just no SPF, just oil. It's just oil and lime foil.
I mean, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, so that, I mean, being Bain de Soleil number 4, the orange glacé.
Well done, you were protecting yourself.
It gave you this orange oily color that I thought was fabulous.
You were tanned.
And I just sat out there all day.
So I will go out in the sun, but I'm much more careful of sort of directly lying with my face in it. But I can tell as soon as I'm hot, it can be 25 degrees outside, and I know it's going to come up. But I just don't stress about it. There's more important things going on.
Yeah, and like sitting in the car too, I get it here.
And by the way, in saying that, I'm not taking away from the people who have it much worse than I do, because some people, you just know it's there all the time and it's all you can see when you look at their face. Then I would say, do your best to treat it, look at laser, make sure you're using SPF 50.
Yeah, Clear and Brilliant and IPL, I don't know what they call those things here, or if it's the same names.
You can get IPL here.
But anyway, those are really good for that.
Okay. No, I'm not going to ask her that. Did you ever leave a scar on someone's face and not tell them?
I mean...
Not on purpose.
I wouldn't know in the moment if it was a permanent scar, but I try to tell people everything so that we handle it in the moment. LED light, if the wound is fresh, LED light will help heal anything right away. I have one of my estheticians got bitten in the face by a dog some years ago.
Oh, I thought you were going to say from a client. I was like, what?
No. Anyway, she had 30 stitches in her face. Young girl, really obviously very upset about what the consequences of that were. And just understanding the science of LED, I told her to do it every day.
Yeah.
And we took pictures of her every day. After 2 weeks, no scar, no bruising, completely clear
Yeah.
because it stimulates healing in the body and it really repairs the tissue and builds collagen.
I know when I was working in Teresa's clinic, because Teresa used to let me have a room a few days a week when I was doing my facials.
So nice.
And when we had finished a shift, or if we had time, we would go, turn me on, just be on the bed with the LED, talking about the day, chatting through clients, and then we'd swap.
Yeah.
And just have a nag.
Yeah. I mean, we do that with the beds. I'll have a friend come in and we'll just talk and then, yeah.
Okay, let's do a final couple. Oh God, there's so many. Let's just touch on acne.
Okay.
How to help acne, acne rosacea flare-ups are the bane of my life. There's loads on acne in general and how you know when you can extract a spot and when you can't. So maybe we just touch on the sort of extreme of acne when, like I would go, you need a derm, and you, if they've offered you Accutane, you should take it.
Mm-hmm.
To actually you've got a hormonal beard, so we know that that's hormones. To you've got a few spots, do chill.
Well, I have had clients that, so the problem with Accutane is that it can create depression in certain teenagers. I don't know how it goes, but a lot of parents in the States are very afraid of Accutane.
Do you think it's still got the bad press? Because it's kind of come through that bad press here, because you know now there's so many more variations, there's lower dosages. And for example, Dr. Sam Bunting says that she would give Accutane even to a teenage boy who are more susceptible to it for some reason scientifically, allegedly. But she says that the even if they're prone to depression, she would try them on the Accutane and just monitor them closely, because the lift in their mood when their skin starts to clear helps the depression. So it swings and roundabouts. As we say, it's very English. Swings and roundabouts.
I've had clients with kids with severe acne that have gone either way with it. It depends on the derm.
Yeah, of course.
The derm that I work with is probably a little bit more on the cautious side. And Accutane is sort of a last resort for her, and she'll do like V-beam or something, another kind of a laser treatment to help while we do LED cleansing facials and all of this other stuff. And if it's just not working, then she goes to Accutane. But it is a concern for most people. I've had people completely heal by just doing cleansing facials and LED, but like, you know,
almost daily.
I mean, the LED once a day, maybe, or twice a week, and then cleansing facials every week because you have to keep cleaning out all the bacteria. You know, charcoal cleansers are very, very good for pulling
the right charcoal cleansers. None of those Facebook monstrosities where
they
paint on black and peel off the face.
I mean, that looks so scary. Anything that pulls the skin like that.
But like they tear it off. It's like, it's not a wax, dude. Chill.
It scares the hell out of me, honestly. But I'm talking about like a really nice cleanser that you wash your face with. Taking zinc orally helps. Probiotics help. You know, there are some skincare lines that have probiotic masks and things. You know, all of that stuff works. LED, blue and red light, really.
I remember the first time I put blue LED on someone who might be watching, so I'm not going to name him, but it's a him and he knows who he is. And it was the first time I'd really seen the effect of just how good it is on acne. Not the odd spot, proper acne. Yeah. And the difference. And I said to them,
it's huge.
Stop spending all your money on anything else you're spending it on and have LED like 3 times a week until you're going to see a benefit.
Sometimes I've been known in New York, if we have a regular client that's having a really suffering, I'll just tell them, I'm not going to charge you, but you need to come in every day, just so we can get on top of it, because there is a make-break point with it, and once you get on top of it all and all the bacteria, it starts to go away. I try to tell people to never use like cleansing brushes and
I did not know that about you, and now I love you even more. I told someone the other day, they were talking to me, I'm not going to mention the name, but it was one of the rubber ones that buzzes. Yeah. I said, use it as a vibrator. You're welcome, world. Their sales are going to rocket now. Your husband's going to be like, why have you got so many of these cleansing brushes? Oh, they're really good for my skin. By the way, just full disclosure, I've never done that, but I have held it in my hand and thought that would make a good vibrator.
But on skin like mine,
sorry, Mum.
That brush in particular is great because it's invigorating and depuffing.
It's not my skin goes, no, you will not.
Oh, really?
Oh, acne like that.
That's so interesting to me. That's so good for me to know because my skin, well, your skin is dewier than mine. And
oh, no, I'm
thicker.
covered in oil and foundation.
I'm here in the room, so...
Sorry. That's my other favourite thing. When people go, oh, you can't see I'm wearing makeup. And you're like, dude, I can see it from over there. That's what I do for a living, love. Do you think a doctor looks at your fanny and goes, oh, yes, I can tell you haven't... No, they look at your fanny and go, I can see you've had 4 kids.
I mean, but, so anyways, for my...
I'm sorry for that vision. Sorry.
I try not to look at my fanny ever.
Well, you know fanny here is the front, not the back.
It's the front?
Yeah, where fanny is your front.
Did you know that?
Nope.
So
I'm learning and growing, everybody. Yeah. I was talking about my ass.
That's why in England we don't call it a fanny pack. It's a bum bag.
Whoa.
I'm teaching you so much today.
I'm learning all the information.
So yeah, if you say fanny, it's literally you're talking about a vajay.
Interesting. Well, I do look at my vajay. I do not.
You should all look at your
ass.
vajay. Let your man look at your ass, but you should all be looking at your vulva as it is.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I loved your.
Which one? I rant about it all the time.
I love it all. I live for it actually. But anyway, back to skin cleansing brushes.
Yeah. So you don't like the brushes that we won't be using as vibrators.
I had a client who. He was a young boy. He got acne for the first time at college or university, and so he went out and bought a Clarisonic brush, and spread all that bacteria all over, and it was really like a medical emergency.
But because of course the worst people to give that to, and I say that as the parent of one as a young teenage boy, they're filthy. And they don't intend to be. It just doesn't occur to them to wash. They're just chilled. I joke about it all the time. Someone once mentioned and said, your poor child is going to be mortified. Max loves it. He thinks it's funny that he doesn't wash. He's like, none of my friends wash. Why would I be embarrassed? I had to bribe him on Sunday. I was like, if you don't get in the shower, I swear to God, when you come out of the bathroom, all your computers are gone.
That's so funny.
But so if I gave him something, when he went for braces, they said, do you want braces or Invisalign? And I just shouted, you give him an Invisalign and I'm not paying you because he'll never clean it, he'll never put it in. Braces, it has to be in there solidly.
I mean, I have a boy too, so I
God bless
used to.
them.
I mean, I love my boy, but I used to have to list out the body parts I wanted washed.
I still do that. So Max went in the shower. He's like, you're really funny, Mum. He doesn't care. I promise you, he doesn't care. And he went in the shower, and he tried to tell me he had washed his hair, and he stuck his head out. And he went, can I get a towel? And all he'd done is stick his head under the sink. Now this is how stupid he is. I mean, he's a very intelligent child, just no common sense when it comes to lying to his mother. The back of his hair was bone dry and sticking up where he just got out of bed. And I went, hey dude, do you want to shower first before you come out and try and bullshit me? And he was like, and he literally went, went back in the room. I said, if I don't smell tea gel, I'm going to sniff every part of your body when you come out of that shower. That did the job.
We've had to do that. We've had that discussion.
Like, feet, hands, balls, neck, ears.
I've done that, but also my son will get in the shower. I don't know. He'll get out and I'll be like, dude, your hair's dry. Oops, I forgot. Sorry, Mom. And he'll have to get back in.
He walked out the shower on Sunday and the back of his head was all soapy. I went, could you just pay attention for 3 seconds? Like, how do you function when I'm not in the room?
Yeah.
So anyway, 14-year-old boy spread his acne over his face, not good.
Anyway, so we had to kind of like throw the brush away and start from scratch and like use paper towels to dry the face, not the bath towel, because of course that spreads
all
it.
over, yeah.
So just like
things like that.
Being mindful and
I know
and
people
all
love brushes, and hats off to Clarisonic. Some people love them and they work brilliantly for some. I don't endorse them because I've seen people who use it like a sander. Number one, the education isn't great, and then the spreading of the bacteria is problematic.
At one time, I did think that they were great like everybody else did, and then again you start as a facialist, you go back in the treatment room every day and you're like, oh my god, what did you do? And then you realize that people just go crazy on you, and it's really because of that I no longer sell devices. I don't endorse any in particular because I do think that there needs to be proper education and And it's hard when things are sold on a shelf where you can just grab something.
Because it makes you think you can use it. But you know, drills are sold on a shelf. I'm not that good with a drill. Just putting that out there.
Also,
don't even mind that I'm not that good with a drill.
Also, yeah.
Okay, last question. Because I answered this one because they said it and I thought that's a great question, but I'm going to ask you and see what you say. If there's one thing I can do in my 20s to have great skin in later years, what would be it? I gave 3.
I liked all your answers.
Mine were don't smoke, watch your sugar intake, and wear an SPF of at least 30.
My 2 cents is to watch your alcohol consumption.
Oh my God, especially in your 20s. 100%.
Alcohol changes your cortisol levels in your body, which rule over, inflammation and breakouts and your collagen production. I find New York is a bit of a drinking town.
Mm-hmm. So's London. Well, so's the UK, actually.
Yeah, so New York is very much the same. You go out, you have 3 glasses of wine with dinner, and you have an after dinner drink and so forth. I stopped drinking alcohol a year ago. I wasn't enjoying it anymore, and I really feel different in my skin.
Okay, I didn't know this about you either, but I gave up booze like 3 or 4 years ago.
Maybe 4.
4 years ago?
Oh, that's so interesting.
4 years
That's
ago.
why your skin is so dewy.
Never felt better, lost weight. My work attention went vroom.
Yeah.
So now, I've had the odd, now I'll have half a cider, and we did the Brits, and it was so stressful at one point that, we never drink when we're working, so backstage of the Brits, backstage at Grammys, never drink. And it was the end of the day and the show was on and we knew it was all done, and I said, I'll have half a cider, and everyone went, fucking hell, it must be bad, she's going to have a drink. I was like, whenever I have half a cider, I just need to take the edge off. Just one half a cider. But I say to everyone, and I think my kids have benefited from it too, I'm always nagging, just don't drink too much. It's just, and mine, I'll be like, a quick chat with Joanna Vargas. I'm going to leave this in, but we keep getting cut off because we've yapped and yapped and yapped. So I'm going to call this a quick, not chat with Joanna Vargas. Booze, everything, I lost weight, I slept better, and here's the key, I haven't had a migraine since I gave up booze.
Oh my God,
I haven't had a migraine.
Interesting.
My digestion is better, my IBS, everything went away. And my nutritionist and their dietitians, they all call alcohol liquid fire.
Yeah,
because the sugar just goes. Vroom.
So I'm a little bit pissed that I have not lost more weight since I quit.
Did you compensate with something else? Were you like, oh, chocolate? Nice.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I just thought I was magically going to be a supermodel. That's not what happened, though. But I did lose weight. I have more energy for my business, my clients, my children, especially my 6-year-old.
I can't have a hangover, dude. I'm too old for that. I can't have a hangover. It kills me. I want to die.
It's funny because you and I were both friends with Renee Rudo, and she's been going through a really
major grief.
And it's painful to even brush upon in a light way. Some years ago, I had a friend who worked for me who at 38 years old or 37 years old found out that she had terminal cancer. And so it was a very difficult time in my life because I was dealing with the grief of my staff, all of her clients, and my own personal grief. And I got very comfortable with 2 glasses of wine a day, and
self-medicating.
Yeah, big time. And you're looser with your diet. When you're going through a hard time, you're not taking good care of yourself anyway. And anyways, it was a winding road, and my conclusion throughout all of that hardship was that you got to take care of yourself. And I owe it to my children and to everybody who counts on me to take care of myself. And I wasn't working out. You cannot do that in your 40s.
I just say to people now, especially, it's a 40s thing too, I think, because with the 40s, we had this conversation earlier. I always say to my kids, don't worry if you're not sure what you want to do. There's a part of me that still doesn't know what I want to do. You still have that in your head. You're not supposed to know what you want to do in your 20s. You're supposed to go out and get drunk and have fun. But there comes a point where you have to acknowledge this isn't good for me. And in your 30s, I think you can still get away with it a bit, but it depends on your work. Do you have a family? you know, I have too many people relying on me to bring my A game every day.
That's what it is.
And I cannot bring my A game if I've been hammered the night before. I just want to be in bed and die. It's just awful.
Yeah.
And one drink and I'm fuzzy. So I can have a half a cider. We go for a pub quiz on a Sunday sometimes. We go for a family Sunday roast and we stay for the pub quiz. And I'll drink a half cider. And if we're doing well on pub quiz, I'll go to my husband. I'll have a pint. And he's like, whoa, hey, she's on a pint, lads. But very, very rarely. And, you know, and also, this is not in a judgy way, but I go to a lot of events. And I see people, the same people getting hammered every single time. And I think, dude, it's not a good look. These are people you're working with on a professional basis. It doesn't look professional. But more so, I can just tell you're not going to feel good tomorrow. You're not going to look good, feel good, or do your best work. And I just want to bring my A game. And I cannot do that with booze.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because it's an acceptable thing to kind of slightly abuse it all the time.
Try being the one when you go out and saying, I don't drink. They're like, oh. But now they know, they don't even bother.
I announced it to everybody. I'm going to not drink anymore. And, you know, at first everybody's like, really? But, you know, I don't miss it one bit.
I do not miss it at all.
It's weird. I thought I would. And
I go to gigs and I remember the gig. I'm present. I enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't get hammered. I mean, yeah, still, you know, I might have been more gregarious and outgoing when I was previously going to a going to a gig and drinking. But now I enjoy it more. I embrace it more. I go home. I have a cup of tea. I catch up on my SVU and I go to bed and I'm back on my A game tomorrow.
Yeah. And I think like you're traveling and busy and you have your family, you're a very present person in your children's life, and I think like, you know, everybody expects you to show up and it's kind of hard to do that like if you've had, you know, a couple of drinks. So, and anyways,
this video is not sponsored by AA, by the way.
Anyway, as a consequence of all of that, I feel like I'm just better at everything that I do, and I think my face looks better.
My skin looks better.
Yeah, so
more clearer.
Yeah.
But I can't speak very well.
When I saw that question and how you answered it, I agreed with everything you said, but I do like to tell people that it was a game changer for me, and that I encourage other people to try it. You know, even if it's for a shorter period of time, you'll learn a lot about yourself. I'm naturally kind of an introvert. I chose a career where I'm alone in a room with somebody.
Well done. Good career choice.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm naturally kind of like, oh, I gotta go to this party and talk to people, and it's not my natural state necessarily, but I feel more comfortable with myself not drinking.
Amen. I think we should leave on that. Now, here's the good thing. Here's when you know you're interviewing good people. We've got Joanna's whole line of product in front of us. We haven't even mentioned it. So I'll link to it. But she makes really great products. and it's here. But I'll link to it below. And it's in the UK, it's on sale. Cult Beauty, Net-a-Porter. And in the States, Nordstrom. Your own website.
My own website. Neiman Marcus. Free People.
Everywhere. Everywhere that's good.
I mean, lots of good places.
Lots of reputable outlets.
Not everywhere yet. No,
well, that's their loss. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was
Who
so
knew
much
that we were
fun.
actually related?
I mean, I kind of did know. I'm not going to lie.
So when I'm coming to New York, which may well be in April.
Oh, snap.
Oh my God, if I time it right, Renee will be there too.
Holy shit.
Party.
My mind is blown right now.
It'll be a non-boozing evening.
I mean, yeah, I'm into that.
Oh my God, we could have a facial three-way.
Yeah, because I have been wanting to give. Renee was supposed to come to New York some months ago, and I was going to give her a facial because I wanted to take care of my.
Exactly. You want to put hands on her.
I wanted to give my girlfriend a facial.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing about her is that every time I have something important going on, I will wake up in the morning and I will have a text from Renee that says, good luck today.
She's
different. I just want to say that there are not many people like that girl in the universe. She's a really special person. She's special to me. And it's really like an honor to know her. And so I just want to give her a facial to give back to her some of the love.
While you're giving her a facial, I'll just stroke her.
You can rub her feet.
I'll rub her feet and massage her thighs and do her upper arms and lie on her with my mum boobs. I'll be like, Renee.
And then the three of us can get into the LED light bed together.
And then take like some selfies. Because that's what we're really about.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
oh my
for having
god.
me. This was so much fun.
By the way, I'm really annoyed that you turned up looking like a glamazon and I'm in a bun and an Adidas sweatshirt. But whatever, Joanna, you could have at least turned up looking like you had a rough jet lag.
Listen, you guys, the truth of the matter is, listen to me
She's
right
like,
now.
Silk pajama top, blowout.
I had clients this morning, and everybody wants to take pictures during facials, and I am a very makeup off type of a girl, and I don't ever blow out my hair in real life. My girls will tell you I'm a bun.
Okay, don't you think, and we have to finish on this, but don't you think that the bun addiction comes from doing facials? When I see people giving treatments on Instagram, I think, you're not qualified, because my teacher would have had my hair pulled scrap back if I'd have even dripped one tendril down into a client's face.
Same. Well, they would make you wear like a shower cap.
Everything, like get your hair up.
Yeah.
Get your hair up. So when I see people, I think, oh, they're just posing, and when they're like this and their hair's been styled more than the client's face, I'm like, what are you doing? Get your hair out of their face.
I mean, listen, it's again, being an introvert, you kind of feel like, oh, I look so bad, I gotta do something with myself, and so, you do it, but in real life, I'm like, no makeup with my, it's kind of like the thing about social media. We should trademark
it as a facialist look, except for Jordan, because he doesn't have any hair. But the rest of us are like, bun. Although I say I'll wear a bra because I don't want to hit you in the face with my boobs, but
well, I do that anyway.
Yeah, but
I can't help it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, sorry, the girls are in the way. But bun and no makeup, I think, is a good facialist look. It shows we don't care. We're just taking care of you. It's not about us.
Yeah, it's the funny thing about getting asked to do Instagram takeovers and things like that on important.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to upload on my hair.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I have to have it done up. I can't even do this. So.
I know. Mine's just like.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I'm sure this is an hour long, but they'll watch it. It's amazing. You're amazing.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me. This was really fun.
And I'll see you in April.
Yes.
Bye. You can tell I haven't been doing facials in a while. Look at the nails.
They're fabulous.
I had to cut them down for the Brits. I was like, oh, my nails have got to go, but I can't be on camera going, oh yeah, you can really massage you. Can you imagine? Yeah. So I enjoy them until they have to go, and then when they have to go, I say to my nail girl, get rid. And she goes like, because they're like a what? She's like, oh, like tomorrow they need to be taken down. They've gotten too long because I haven't had time to see her. But I always have them short enough so they don't make noise when I type. But when I'm doing treatments, they're just off,
So I take off in the summertime, and the one thing that I do is grow out my fingernails so that I can like make noise on everything.
Yeah.
Like a secretary.
Okay, Lulu. Are you running?
Yeah.
Oh, she was running.